Hello, hello, champagne poppers. Welcome back to the podcast. This is our second to last episode of the motherfucking season.
Say that.
It's crazy. We're closing out season 3.
That's insane. That is really, really insane.
I
I
know.
just saw in our Gmail for our podcast, I was getting ready to send you the link through the email. And there was one from our podcast who we produce a podcast through, and we have 10,000 downloads. So that's exciting.
That
So
is
thanks for
exciting.
listening, guys. Very exciting.
It's always a bit shocking to me because I'll look at something. I don't know if it's on my podcast app or something. I'm trying to find a certain episode. I can't remember. It could be when I'm uploading. It happens once a month or something, but all of a
Mhm.
sudden I'll see how many actual podcasts we have, episodes, and I'm like, holy shit, when I was uploading the one that came out this week, we have 75 videos already on YouTube, and we just started YouTube this
Not
last
that long
year,
ago. Yeah. I
in
don't
season
remember
2.
when. Yeah, I think so.
I
Wow,
don't know,
that's really crazy. Time goes by so fast.
or maybe it was even season 3. I don't know.
I don't know.
YouTube's been quite new, but I was like, damn, that's insane that we have 75 videos of our faces on
Yeah, that's
YouTube.
really exciting.
I know, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I'm excited to do our closing episode next week. We'll be recording together for
Mm,
that, so that will be
yes.
fun. Um, the other thing I want to talk about is I have 3 icks that I really am annoyed with that I feel like I want to share.
All
So,
right, let's hear them.
my first ick, and if you don't know what an ick is, you probably are ancient or not on social media or something. Icks are this trending word for things you're irritated by or things that piss you off kind of thing. Basically, I have an ick of hearing people chew their food or something, whatever. Anyways, my first ick that's really popular right now, and it's on social media, is that people keep doing comment for the link, comment for the
Oh,
recipe
I
in the
hate
comments. If
that.
you want the link, comment in the what are the comments? What do you say? You say comment, link? I don't
Comment
know.
teens in the comments, and then
Yeah,
instantly it sends you a link to your DMs. It irritates me.
it drives me freaking crazy. And
Mhm.
I've actually seen a few people on social media mention that they're like, it makes me immediately be like, fuck off, bitch. And that's how I feel. I'll be super down for something, either gonna buy it, gonna make it, whatever. I'm like, dang, I really like this. And the reel's super good. And then I click on the notes and it's like, comment for this. And I'm like, yeah, you can suck it,
I
literally.
think it's just them trying to get engagement, but
Yeah.
ew, that is annoying. That is an ick for sure.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. Our friend Lois sent us a recipe maybe today. I don't know. I'm super behind on life, it feels like today. My life feels weird today. Maybe it was not today. I don't know. Anyways, besides the fucking point. She sent us this link to this or this reel of this recipe, this pasta recipe, and I was like, damn, that looks so easy. My family would actually eat it. Has broccoli, a bit healthy. Great. I'm totally gonna make it. Click on the notes. Want to see the recipe so I know the ratios? Comment for the recipe. Now I'm going to go to Pinterest. I'm going to find the recipe, and you're not going to get any fucking credit, and I'll never follow your page. So are you doing yourself any favors? I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
no, they are not.
So that's ick number 1. Ick number 2 is, I don't know what it is about Utah lately, but Teslas have taken over. There's Teslas everywhere. I swear to God, everyone has a Tesla. But the thing that's really my ick is there's so many Tesla trucks near my house and neighborhood.
Like
I
those
see,
cyber trucks?
yes, I see one every
No.
single day. And not the same one. Sometimes it's the same one every other day, but there's at least 3 or 4 in my vicinity, and I have to see them. Apparently, we're driving around the same time. And I'm really irritated by them. They're so weird looking. They make me uncomfortable. They don't look normal on the road. And then you're just driving and you're like, what kind of dick is driving this thing? I feel like you're a douche if you drive a Cybertruck.
I thought that those got recalls because they're unsafe or something.
That's what I thought too. I literally saw it on my social media, one of these random days, and I saw 3 trucks that day. And then I've seen the same ones again. And I'm like, you're supposed to send your truck back, sir. You're gonna crash.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know why they're a thing. I don't know why there's so many around me. I don't, I truly believe that the people driving them are douchebags.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
I feel like only weirdos are gonna drive that truck.
It's true. It's so ugly.
Have you seen any in like real life?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so uncomfortable when you're driving down the road and you just see them and you're like looking at it. It's like it would be like seeing a really crazy homeless person on the side of the road where you're like, what the fuck is going on? That's how
I
you
gotta
feel.
sit and stare.
You see it and you're just like, and you can't see in the windows at all. It's like there's no one even in there. And then at some point you kind of feel like it might turn into what are those things? Those robots that were cars? A transformer?
Transformer.
It kind of gives off transformer vibes where it's like suddenly going to turn into something. If zombies or some shit goes down in the world, cyber trucks are going to be leading the pack
Well, then
for
shit, we
sure.
better get one.
No, I don't want to be around for that life. Anyways, that's my second ick. My third ick is another thing about Utah, and I'm really irritated by the weather. It has
Oh
been
my
so cold.
gosh. Yes.
I don't know if you
I
guys
agree
got
with that.
snow. Did you get snow?
A little, like it didn't stick, but it definitely came down. It stuck in the mountains, but it didn't stick like at my house.
Yeah, we got like Cinco de Mayo. There was sun. I was laying out. It was so nice. By the end of the night, it got really, really cold and windy. By Sunday, straight up snowstorm. My whole like front yard, backyard covered in snow
Really?
for like hours.
Oh, I am sick of the weather. We've had nonstop rain, and today I thought it was going to stop raining. It stopped for like maybe an hour and then rain. It's been so annoying. Sorry of the hiccups.
Yeah, it's been really cloudy, rainy, snowed in the middle of, I guess it's not the middle of May yet, the beginning of May. And I just really can't wait till I live by the beach or have my vacation home and I can just be like, I'm going to the beach. Like, I don't know, this weather,
It's
it's
depressing.
it's giving asshole. Those are my icks. Those are like the basic things that I have to say for now.
I like it. Have you heard of this whole drama with Drake and Kendrick Lamar?
No, but I was hoping you knew.
I don't. Okay. I have not taken the time to sit and look into it, but Tony's been like listening to the diss tracks because he loved Drake. And he's like, damn, Kendrick like demolished him. And I was like, well, what are they even fighting about? I don't understand. So if you can give me like the lowdown quickly, because every TikTok is like, because apparently TikTok makes like 10-minute videos now. I don't want to sit here and watch a 10-minute fucking video. Like, just tell me quick. I don't need to hear you like licking your lips and all the bullshit that happens with the 10-minute videos. Like, just give me the lowdown really quick. So if you know, let me know. But apparently, Kendrick has all these rappers on his side, is calling Drake a huge pedophile, all this stuff. I was just on TikTok real quick before we got on recording, and apparently somebody's raiding Drake's house in Canada. I don't know why all these houses are getting raided. I don't know what's happening. I need to just sit down and figure out what's going on.
Um, I had a notification on my phone today about from Apple News or whatever. You know how you get like Apple
Mm-hmm.
News, like blah blah blah. And it was literally about Drake and Kendrick Lamar, something, something, something. So I was like, shit, I want to read this really quick. I was going pee, click on it, and then it sends me to the LA Times, and it's like, do you have a subscription to LA Times? And I was like,
God,
oh
that's
my
an ick
God.
for me. I hate that.
I was like, I literally just want to understand like the quick and dirty version of like what is going on.
Yeah, I don't get it, and I really want to know. Still looking for Drake's video. Send it my way if you have it.
Yeah, didn't I think I saw somewhere or something that like one of their security people got like shot like right after
Yeah,
this all
one of
blew up.
Drake's securities officers got shot. I don't know
Also, I feel
why.
like did something happen at the Met Gala? Because I feel like I was watching stuff about the Met and then suddenly all of a sudden I see like this
No, because
drama.
I don't think he was there.
Um,
But also, let's talk about the Met. I love the Met. I love the costumes. I think that they are so cool to see. And all the rage on TikTok right now is that we're living the Hunger Games, and they are doing like comparisons of like, this is the capital. Because I don't fully know what's going on in the Middle East. So I'm not even going to try and talk about it because it gives me anxiety. But anyways, they were doing like video comparisons and I was like, holy shit, this does look exactly like the Hunger Games. And like, this is the night that the Capitol goes out. So then I was thinking, I was like, what district would I be in? What district do you feel like you would be in? I'm thinking like a 4 or 5 vibe.
Honestly, don't know too much about the districts, to be honest. Like, I didn't
Were
read
you
the
not into the
books.
Hunger Games?
I didn't read the books, but I love the movies. But I feel like the movies don't talk a lot about what each district does or
Yeah,
talk
they
much
don't.
about like the people there. Um, I feel like I would probably be at the Capitol.
But no, in your life right now, like
Oh,
celebrities are the capital. Like your life
I
right now, I feel like a four or
okay.
five vibe, maybe a six.
Honestly, I don't know enough, but I feel like my dream world, I'm at the Capitol living like this bougie life. I think that like I mean in my mind like because I don't know about any of these places if one of the districts has a beach then I would want to be there but right now it seems like the capital's where like the good shit happens
You know, they
even
actually
though they're
never
toxic
talk
but
about the beach. I wonder. I wonder. I love the Hunger Games. So, but yeah, the books definitely do go into more detail about the districts. But I was just like, holy shit, like we really kind of are watching the Hunger Games and it's really like sad and a little bit stressful.
I mean what happens at District 4 and 5 what's their life like.
Like kind of just like in the middle-ish, like higher end of middle-ish.
Hmm. District 4 Hunger Games. Oh, they're fishers. They are the fishing industry.
Oh, so we'd be by water.
District 4 were known to be wealthy and very good looking. Their
It's
tributes were
definitely me. Just
their
kidding.
tributes were also careers, training from a very early age to prepare for the games. The most notable member of the district was Finnick O'Dare and Mags Flanagan. Okay.
I feel like I could be a Finnick space in a Finnick
Dis
space.
District 5 was responsible for power and electricity. The area produced the electricity and powered all of Panem. They housed a hydroelectric dam, which many of the citizens worked in. District 6, the core industry within District 6 was transportation. Oh, it went to the next thing, sorry. Yeah, I think I'd maybe be 4, but what's 3? I feel like that's closer to the capital. The closer to the capital, the better.
I mean, I wouldn't say better because the people in the capital are kind of dicks, but
But they had like nice things.
yeah.
Oh, District 3 was one of the most rebellious.
Huh.
I don't know what's District 2.
You need to read the books. The books are so good.
District 2 of the Hunger Games, masonry and weapon manufacturing. Okay, that's stressful. Don't want to be in District 2. I like District 4 so far. I'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I'd fit in District 4.
Yeah. But yeah,
Interesting.
anyways, don't mean to compare trauma, but it just was very interesting that like, okay, the Met definitely did look like the Capitol. And I could see how that could be like, oh, these tickets are $75,000 and like blah blah blah.
Are they?
Yeah, they are. And guess what else? Because I follow a lot of conspiracy pages on Reddit and they're just fun to read. And one of the conspiracy theories is we never fucking know what happens in the Met. I have no idea. I've been following the Met for
That's
years
facts.
because I love like the dressing up stuff. I don't know what it is even for. It's some sort of auction, but like for what? I don't understand.
Yeah. You never actually see anything happening inside the Met. You always see them going and then leaving and then
Yeah,
going to after parties, but I've never actually seen a single thing of what inside looks like.
that's sketchy. That's definitely sketchy for sure.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
Weird. Weird. The world is so fucking weird.
I know, right? So, yeah, I don't really know what else is going on in my life. I just got off my first promotion of my whole life, so that was so exciting. Shelby gave me some really good advice, and something I do want to share. I did kind of share about it on my Instagram last night, but I really wanted to share on here. I had a therapy episode therapy session yesterday, and it was like the most chill therapy session I've ever had. And it was all about like focusing on my growth and the fact that it's okay to like live in your healed state and you don't constantly have to try and be better. You don't constantly have to try to heal more and to push boundaries more of your healing and blah, blah, blah. And it was so refreshing to like hear that and to like tell my therapist like what my goals are, what my dreams are. And he gave me some really good advice about being a therapist. And yeah, it was just such a nice session that I was like, more people need to hear this, that therapy does not have to be hard every single time. Like it's okay to just like chill and live in your state that you're in right now.
I think what I would also add to that is just because you're going to therapy, like therapy's not your identity. It's not the only thing that you can live in or talk about. I think you and I don't remember what trip we were on. We were somewhere, because we were definitely in a hotel room. And I had said something to you about like, it feels like a lot of time you want to sit and talk about like therapy or like traumas or like just how are we and all of those things. And for me, like I can't live in it, but I think you're someone that like that therapy session was probably very helpful for you because it gave you
Mhm.
permission to be like, oh, I don't have to constantly be thinking about this and living in it and focusing on it. And like there's still life outside of it. And I think that that's something that I was trying to highlight when we'd had that conversation is like, there's other things that are happening that I actually would rather talk about because I don't like to live in it. Like I don't like to sit and think about it all the time. Like when I'm in therapy, yes. When I'm like having my me time and things, yes. But other than that, like I don't think about it very often, you know? But
Mhm.
I think that a lot of people, like when they're in therapy or when they really start diving into it initially, they think that that's just like their life now. Like they're just like, oh, it's just reminding me of all the shitty things going on and like how hard and terrible all this stuff is and like that I'm fighting for my fucking life. And it's like, yes, and you still have a really cool life around you and
Mhm.
cool opportunities. And like there's just so much more joy in everyday life that doesn't have to be like dealing with traumas and healing and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, my therapist said, I know that you're going to hate this statement, but I'm going to say it anyway. He said, why would you let your inner child heal? Why would you heal her and then not let her live healed and happy and have fun? And I was like, fuck, yeah, that is correct. Like, why would I go through all of this to heal and then not like relish in it? Like, holy shit, this last year was really fucking hard. I put in a lot of work. Like, I can take a second and like enjoy, you know?
But like even more than a second, you know, like your everyday should be more of this like this is actually the new life that I'm in. This is the new
Mhm.
environment and I'm relishing in it and enjoying it daily and also still having moments where I like work on other stuff, you know, like
Yeah.
it's definitely not just like a I sat on the couch that one time and we talked about it and now let me go get more, you know, like
Yeah.
your life, like you said, you just got a promotion. Like your life keeps climbing and climbing to this higher place. And like I think you do what I do a lot where you're kind of forgetting about all the good around you. You're just kind of like, okay, next, okay, next, okay,
Mhm.
next. Like, and I do that so often right now. I don't know. This whole version of me this year is a fucking trip. And I'm okay with it. Like, I'm fine with Shelby this year, but like, I don't know. I don't know where this came from because now I'm just kind of like, oh, cool, yeah, we'll just be here. You know, I'm not like trying to do something all the time, which is so weird.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that's really one thing that I notice about people in general is like therapy, they either like it and like dive all in and want to fix it all, or they like it and don't want to deal with it or talk about it. And then also they like it and just think that like a couple of sessions fixed it. I don't know, like I feel like it's just like a weird therapy's just a weird space.
It
It's a
is. It
great
is
space,
such a
but
weird space.
it's like so weird for people to like
Yeah.
actually process.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was just like a message that need to be shared because it was really nice. And I was just like, wow. And at the end, when he was walking me out, I was like, I didn't cry once today. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, that's really nice to like know that I can go do something now and like not be all like meh for the rest of the day. Like I felt happy and energized and excited about the future. And yeah, it was just really cool because I've really been putting in some fucking work this last year.
The fact that you cry in all of your sessions is so mind-blowing to me. I think there was maybe 2 times where my eyes teared up for like a second in therapy, and then that was it. Like,
Really? I mean, you know me
yeah,
though, I'm a crier, so I feel like it would be weird if I didn't.
yeah. This is a weird admission, but one of the times, this is a confessional for sure.
Oh no.
One of the times that I almost cried, it's because my therapist like told me how proud of me she was. And
Oh,
like clearly I don't hear that very often because I was like,
oh,
"Oh my gosh, like that's really cool that you're proud of me."
oh, I love that.
It was when she was about to leave and she was like, "You're really amazing," like blah blah blah, like telling me all these like good things that I already know about myself. But I was like, "Damn, this bitch,
It's nice to hear it from
I
someone
knew she knew
else.
I was running the show, but like now she really validated it."
Toes and all 10 of her toes were proud of you.
Oh my gosh. In other off-topic news, I'm drinking a very delicious Chardonnay. I actually already can say I guarantee you haven't tried it. It's from our first leaf box that we ordered.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, I brought the card so I could show people a picture that watch us on YouTube because I
Oh
feel like
yeah, that's a cute bottle.
we really don't give enough wine recommendations. And when I say we, it's really me because I drink a lot of wine and I'm gatekeeping. So I will try to be better. I just sometimes forget. Um, and I think that maybe people don't care. But I wanted to share what the card said about it, not like the whole thing, but it's really cool, this wine subscription that we have, because it gives you a card about all of the wines that you got. And it tells you like the notes and like things to pair it with. And I think that that's really funny. And it tells you the nutrition, which is my favorite part. So this one is, I'm 1/3 WA Chardonnay is, I guess the name. Seems a bit confusing. It's from Columbia Valley, Washington. Also, for some reason, whenever I see Columbia Valley on wine bottles, I think it's California. I think I have one of those things where I make an assumption that like all wine is from California, which I know is not
Mm-hmm.
true, but like for some reason, Columbia Valley has always made me think California.
Hmm.
Um, the notes are lime, vanilla, and honey, which now that I'm saying that,
Hmm.
let me taste test that.
That sounds yummy.
I definitely can tell there's lime vibes for sure. It's like actually a bit tart now that I let that like marinate. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, weird. It's actually really, really good and really light feeling. It says pairings are pear salad, Parmesan
Mm.
vegetables, yum,
Mm.
and tuna.
Ew. Yeah.
I almost just told a thing on here, but I don't know if this person listens, so I can't share it, but it had something to do with tuna.
Oh no. Share it with me when we're not recording, please.
It's from high school, so I'll keep my mouth shut. Um, the nutrition is low carb, hell yeah, and calories per, I don't know how many ounces they're basing this off of, but I would imagine like 5 or 4, because that's usually like the standard pour. 111. So
Not
111 per
bad.
glass is actually not bad for
Yeah,
a wine.
that's actually really good.
Yeah, so very excited about it. It's very delicious.
We
I
get our new
feel
box tomorrow. I'm so excited.
yeah, Taylor's like all fucking butthurt over here that it's like, oh my God, it was so expensive, like
I
tripping
was
balls.
not butthurt, and I just it's just because it was so unexpected, and I didn't want you to be like, bitch, you didn't even like warn me. So that's the
Uh,
only thing that I was like,
no.
oh shit, like it was very unexpected that it came out because I thought it was at the end of the month, not the beginning. So it was like, hey, surprise, you owe me this.
It is a bit strange they didn't send an email. I feel like that's like
Yeah.
standard protocol. Like I would really like to speak to their manager.
Hmm.
But it's actually only $15 a bottle basically. And we get really cool stuff. So I've already had 2 or 3 of what we've gotten. I don't know. I can't keep track at this point. Like I said, I drink a lot of wine, but it's some good shit.
Yeah,
So
I need to try. Maybe I'll have a bottle tomorrow.
I was trying, God, I think I reached a point. We're definitely getting off topic, but I don't know what has happened. And maybe it's just like the environment and like the vibes and the things that are surrounding me that's making me feel this way lately. I've been getting really bad anxiety and I've never
Mhm.
had that before. And it's not because I've been like crazy drunk. Like I think a lot of people get that because they think that they were wild and out and they were unhinged and they I don't know, we're just like super, super drunk, just like being like drunk.
Mhm.
I don't fully know why I'm suddenly getting it, but I got it on Sunday really, really bad. And what I think I've pinpointed it to is that I know that drinking is not aligning with like my health and fitness goals. And so I'm
Mhm.
like beating myself up in the head of like, you just drank so much alcohol today and made poor eating decisions. Doesn't matter if I worked out, I'm still like forgetting all of the actual positive things. And I'm just sitting there like spiraling in my bed of like, you can't drink anymore. You have to be sober. Like it goes like from 0 to 100 so fucking fast. And then like this week, I was like, I'm not gonna drink, which was fine. I don't really like to drink during the week anyways. It's like I'm not gonna drink during the week. And I was like, and it's Mother's Day weekend. I'm not even having champagne on Mother's Day. Like I'm not even drinking on Mother's Day. Like I don't need to drink any like it was insane. Like I'm telling you, so insane. And then like even as it's gotten closer to Mother's Day, I'm like, oh my God, am I drinking? Like, it's really, really weird. I don't know what this space is that I'm in. I don't know why I'm getting so, like I said, I don't get drunk and wild. Like, something about it is like telling me, like, if you want to be skinnier, you can't drink and then eat pizza, Like, but in my mind, I keep like being like, oh, right, well, now we're just sober. It's really fucking weird.
All
I
or
don't
nothing.
I don't know what's happening, but I'm just full of confessions today.
Yeah, no, my anxiety was so bad. That's actually why I stopped drinking a whole ton, is because it was so bad. But I do get a little wild and crazy. Like family Christmas gets a little wild and crazy. And I'd wake up the next day feeling like shit. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Where are my shoes? Is Tony mad at me? Like it was a whole thing. And I was like, I just need like a little bit of a break and
Yeah.
just like drink when I'm intuitively feeling it because my anxiety was so bad. But I do get a little crazy. So that definitely played a part because I was like, Shelby's mad at me. Wally's mad at me. Like I was probably so annoying and they were probably get this bitch out of my house. Like I can't.
I wonder if it's like an Enneagram 7 thing for you where like it's like the fun environment and you're happy to be around these people and like I don't know, because like I think our drinking relationships have always been quite different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am more of a sipper. Like I don't know. It's really, really strange. So like during the week, having a glass of wine is just like I'll have it and I'll have it for like 3 hours where I've had the same glass of wine. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the taste of it. I enjoy like it slowly over time calms me down. I really am like enthusiastic about wine. Like I think it's the coolest concept. So maybe I don't know, but I can't understand like why suddenly I'm like in my mind like, "Oh my God, I can't drink it all anymore." Like it's so weird because like on Sunday, I woke up, I shared a bottle of champagne with my sister over hours because we were doing these crafting things for my niece's graduation. Took fucking forever. Then I had a mini champagne, not like the mini usual, but like I don't know,
Did you
I've seen them at
share it
liquor
though?
stores. They're like, yeah, it was like a glass each for sure, like a hefty pour each. I don't know what size it is, but I've had it from like one of my like Advent wine calendar things that Wally does. We shared that. Then I went to play sand volleyball, was there for like 3 hours, had 3 beers, and that put me into a tailspin.
Interesting.
I did eat pizza, and I'm wondering if it's like the food combination.
Maybe. I know that if I am smoking weed or taking an edible, if I have any like pizza, Alfredo, like anything with a lot of like fat and grease, I go down like a whole anxiety spiral. Like for some reason, the cannabis mixed with the grease does not sit well with me. So that could be it.
Yeah, I'm like trying to decide. I need to like really pay attention the next time I get it. Like, because it doesn't happen every time. And so the only thing that I've been able to like really identify so far is like eating more than I want to eat, maybe, or
Mhm.
staying up later, like things like that, where it's like, I don't want to be up late. I don't want to be tired the next day, or I don't want to eat that. But it was like, it sounded good, like I feel
Mhm.
like it's like me intuitively being like, this isn't aligning with your goals. Like, you
Could
need to
be.
like, I don't know. But then I just am like, it's drinking. It's only drinking. It's not me making the decisions. It's the alcohol. Oh no, man. It's been really, really strange.
Interesting. Yeah, that will be interesting to dive into for
Yeah,
sure.
it's been really, really weird, but I don't know why I even shared that. Oh, we were talking about wine. Okay.
I also think we have the same nail color. Have you noticed
Oh,
that? Like, do you have the chrome?
mine's chrome, but mine's orange.
Oh, mine's pink. It
Mine's like
looks
an
the same.
orange red. It's because I
No.
have soft focus, so people think I look this beautiful all the time. And you can't see my real color. But actually it's no, that's a lie. It's the lighting in here. I dimmed my lights.
Okay. I was like,
I
it
don't
looks exactly
I
the
don't have
same.
I don't have soft focus on. I don't do that. I don't have a filter.
Oh,
Uh,
goodness.
all right. Do we want to talk about our topic?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, the topic we wanted to talk about today, I just sounded Canadian, about.
About.
You did not sound Canadian.
I know.
We wanted to talk about how you speak to yourself. And I don't personally know if it was me or you that put this on our topic list. Um,
Remember.
I don't have a ton to say about it. I have a few things to say about it. Um, but also my recent journey with like the whole witch that I'm seeing and everything else that keeps coming into my life, like message wise, it seems like self-love is like a topic that I like need to understand a little bit better. So to me, how you speak to yourself is like a huge form of self-love. Like if someone were to ask me, like, what does self-love mean? I would say something like it's how you treat yourself. It's not being a dick to yourself. It's taking care of yourself. Like that to me would be self-love, which is like there's
Mhm.
so much more that goes into it, which I need to learn about. But how you talk to yourself is basically what I assume is self-love.
Mhm. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't even mean to. It's the most prettiest golden hour outside right now. But, anyways, my class tonight actually goes so well with this topic. If you've ever been to my yoga classes, I don't plan them ahead. I literally go based off of what I am feeling that the other people need. So sometimes I'll go in and I'll have like an idea of like a theme, but even recently I've stopped doing that because I'll have an idea. I'll go in and I'll be like, these people do not need this tonight. Like they need something else. So I literally just go in, like, give it all to Jesus. Like, let's make this a good class. And it works out every time. So, but today I did joy and it was a power class, which I don't usually teach power classes a whole ton because they really can burn me out over time. And the people that are in power classes sometimes have really big egos, and I don't love that. So I don't do it all the time, but every now and then when I do it, it's really fun. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, let's make this so fun tonight. And like, I don't know. So I put on like a really good playlist and we just had fun and like messed around and, tried a few new balance poses and held planks for a long time. Like it was so fun and exciting. And my theme was joy and it was all about joy in moving your body. And there was a few times that I said before, like throughout the class, like, I know that this is hard. I know that it's like not fun. I know that there's a voice in your head like telling you to stop or that it's too hot or you're sweating too much or whatever, but try to push through that and find the joy in moving your body. And it was all like just about self love and finding that joy and that happiness in movement. And that's what like self love and talking positively to yourself means to me, is just finding the joy in it.
I hadn't really thought about the joy aspect of it. I think that's definitely an interesting perspective. I actually, everything you were saying, just in my mind was like, God, Taylor really needs to teach these things to Penley. She really, really struggles with like an inner critic. And like it to me, it feels like an insecurity thing. But like the things you're saying, like those are the things I'm always trying to be like, Henley, think of this, push through this, like blah blah blah. But I think because I'm her mom, it's like she doesn't listen the same way, but like everything you were saying, like we literally had this conversation at cheer and she's just like, huh, crickets. And I'm like, whatever. But I hadn't really thought about the joy aspect. Um, for me, the inner dialogue and like the way you talk to yourself, I don't know. I think I have a lot of thoughts in my head, but I don't really have a lot of dialogue to myself. That's something I'm actually like working on lately is like getting more comfortable with those conversations. I was thinking actually today, like, because it's hat day, like this whole week is like a spirit week at school for Henley.
I love
And
Spirit Weeks.
every time where it's something out of the norm, like it's dress down day or you can do this, like she has this like spiral moment where she had like in her mind she's gonna walk into school and she's the only person, like we got it wrong, which has never fucking happened. Like girl, I'm on top of my shit. And it's every single time. Like she's so stressed. Like, are you sure it's dress down day? Are you sure it's like crazy sock day? Are you sure it's this? Like, no one's gonna do it. I don't want to participate. Like, she almost like cuts herself out of things because she's so stressed about these things. And we were sitting in the car today and it's hat day. And she has this cute bucket hat that you gave her that she's been so excited to wear. And she put it on. She's like, I look weird. And I was like, no, you don't. She's like, look at my head. And I was like, Henley, that's a bucket hat. Like, look at pictures on the internet. Like, that's how it's supposed to look. You look totally cute, totally fine. Your hair's curled. Everything's
Oh, I bet she
perfect.
looks so cute. That bucket hat's so cute.
And I was like, you need to like have this confidence. Like, you need to stop talking to yourself like this. Like, don't tell yourself you look weird. Tell yourself, like, I look fucking fire. Like, I look good right now. And people are gonna wish they had my hat. And she was just like, okay. And then as we're like getting closer to school, I like looked back and I didn't see her hat on. And I was like, did you forget your hat? Because I, in my mind, is like she intentionally forgot her hat because she's been stressed about like, are you sure it's hat day? I look weird, like blah blah blah. And she's like, no, I haven't. And I was like, okay. We start pulling up to school. Kids are wearing hats, all sorts of hats, and she still like won't put it on. She's like freaking out, like, oh,
Mm.
I was like, put your hat on. She's like, no, I look weird. And I was like, are you gonna wear it at all? And she was like, yeah, like, oh look, someone has a bucket hat. Okay, now like now I feel better. Someone else has a bucket hat. Like all these weird like conversations. And as I was driving away, like I finally, she wouldn't put it on when she got out, but she was like, I'll put it on like in a little bit. And I was like, all right, whatever. So as I was driving away, I was thinking in my head, I was like, I don't really know how to parent this part because I have never had this like inner critic the way, like I'm an asshole to myself when it comes to like, I should have, could have been better. Like I'm always pushing myself to be like this amazing person. But when it comes to like talking to myself negatively or feeling insecure, I literally don't, as a child, even like remember feeling these things. Like, and I don't know if this is just something that people are born with. And like, as I was prepping for this episode, I was thinking, like, I don't have a ton of input because I don't really look in the mirror and say mean things to myself. I don't sit and be like, God, I'm a fucking fat ass. Like all of these things. Like here and there, yes, I'll have a sprinkle, but it's never been that way. And even as a child, like I grew up with my grandparents, my parents were drug addicts, and I like didn't have the best clothes. All my friends were bougie ass shit. They're like wearing buckle and they're like rich. And never once did I doubt my confidence. Like I have no idea where these things come from.
Well, I'm literally the complete opposite. As far back as I can remember, I was definitely like Henley and definitely like so hard on myself. So growing up, I was like in high school in 12th, 11th, 12th grade, I was a size 0. Like you can't get smaller in that age than a size 0. And I thought I was
There's
fat.
double zero now.
I thought I was fat. Like I was convinced that I was fat. And I would share clothes with my younger sisters who are 6 and 8 years younger than me. And I would wear their clothes and I would still look in the mirror and be like, oh my God, you're so fat. Like I literally look back at pictures and I'm like, Taylor, what were you thinking? Like, I don't understand, but I am the queen at talking shitty to myself. And I have been my entire life. I've been insecure my entire life. And literally the first thing that the witch said to me, my first appointment when I saw her, she said, what are some things that you tell your leg? And I was like, huh? And she's like, tell me what you tell your leg. And I was like, well, I don't say anything out loud. And she's like, what do you think? Because that's what you're telling it. And I started saying, like, oh, you're ugly, you're stupid. I can't believe you haven't healed yet. You have these growth varicose veins, like this dark spot is so ugly. And she's like, there is your problem. Like, you are so mean to your leg. Why would it heal if you constantly are just like beating it down? And that really put so many things in perspective to me that I was like, my entire life I have felt this way. And my entire life, I was trying to be better and better and better. And it didn't help that I had this silly little boyfriend growing up, and he would so contribute to this so much. Like, there would be somebody better, quote unquote, better than me. So he would break up with me and then give me a stupid excuse on how I wasn't good enough. And I would sit and hang on to that and be like literally one time he broke up with me because I was too girly. So I hung on to that and I was like, you're too girly. Like, you're too much of a girl. Like, boys are never going to like you because you like to paint your nails and you like to have your hair done. And like, these are things that are important to you and people aren't going to like you. So I totally empathize and feel so sad that Henley feels this way because that's literally been my entire life.
It's so also a weird thing lately is my throat has been so weird. Um, I think it's all tied to the witch somehow. I still haven't connected it, but I think it's just so interesting. Like I said, that I think like people can really from the very beginning either have confidence or not have confidence, and or like be somewhere in the middle, and then it just kind of sticks. Like one of the things I wanted to talk about is like sometimes your internal monologue doesn't, it never actually came from you. It's something that was learned or something that someone would say to you, like your boyfriend, or things that parents would say. Like, and it's crazy because my grandma's a tough ass bitch. Like, sorry, everybody.
Throat chakra.
She was very, very negative, and she still is very negative. Like, I don't really talk to her a lot because she's super negative, but she would like say some shit to my sister, both of my sisters, and I don't know if I just didn't listen, and she would say them to me as well, or if I just like I was fine and she didn't have the need to say these things to me. But like those inner internal monologues that people have, like sometimes those come because of parents or watching parents. Like I think what's so crazy, and I don't know if you guys all catch on to it, but like every topic we talk about is literally linked to another topic. Like every aspect of what we talk about on our podcast is tied to another thing. So this ties into your generational trauma, which we haven't done a full episode on yet. But like it's insane to me that like people sometimes don't realize that what is happening and what they're saying to themselves, someone was saying to them. Their mom was calling them fat, or their mom was calling themselves fat. Like all of these different things. Sorry for everyone watching on YouTube, but another ick of mine is if I have hairs hanging underneath my ponytail, I cannot handle it. It makes me insane. I had to fix it. But like people don't appreciate enough that it's not you just being a dick to yourself. It's stuff that's been passed down to you, or something that someone said that really hurt your feelings. And I guarantee a lot of it for you and Henley, you guys are sensitive. You guys are just sensitive
Mhm.
people, which is not a bad thing, but you guys feel deeply. And when someone says something that hurts your feelings, like that's so impactful to you and will be with you for like the rest of your life. Someone says something to me and I'm like, yeah, that's not true. Fuck off. You like, like, but it's because you guys have that sensitive side, and instead sometimes you probably think like, god, why am I such a bitch to myself, and then you forget about all of these little sprinkles that people have shared with you over time, and it's not actually you, it's like learned behavior, it's something
Mhm.
taught to you.
Yeah, I
But
think generational trauma is a huge thing because my mom never, ever once commented on my looks. Like, badly. It was always good. Like, your hair looks really pretty today, or wow, your makeup's really pretty, or that outfit's so cute. Like, she never, ever, thank you, mom, for never commenting on my looks badly because I don't, and this is actually a topic that we've talked about in therapy a lot. But what I do think it stems from is our generation and the things that we had around us with the celebrities that were super, super stick skinny, with our parents and probably your grandma always being on a diet because they were told that they weren't good enough. Like Weight Watchers, HCG, Atkins, Slim Fast, like they were always, my mom was always, always, always on a diet. And it's like, why though? Like, what are you trying to achieve? Like, I don't even think that these women knew what they were trying to achieve. They just were constantly told, like, hey, you're not skinny enough. And I think that that kind of embedded itself in me. And then I also have had so many people. Shelby's witnessed this, that I've had so many people tell me, oh, I thought you were going to be such a bitch. Like, you seemed like such a bitch. You were so pretty in high school and you just were so mean. I thought you were going to be so mean. Like, that stuff really has stuck with me of like, what am I putting off to people that makes me seem bitchy? Because I like to do my hair and I like to have my nails done and I like to wear cute clothes. Like, I don't understand what I'm putting off that makes people say this. And I've had so many people say this stuff that eventually it does become that voice that sticks out in my head of like, don't look this way because people are not going to think you're approachable and think that you're bitchy, or you're going to see somebody that you knew from high school almost 20 years later and have them sit and harp on you for an hour how big of a bitch they thought you were for no reason. And it's like those things start to become your internal monologue if you let them. And I don't know how to not let them. I wish that I did. But I think that that's definitely played a part in the way I felt about myself, because that has constantly been something that's been told to me over and over. And it still gets told to me. And I don't understand why. I really
Yeah.
don't.
I think what's difficult, and I think that so many aspects play into all of these things, but like every single one of us has a different way that we grew up. We have a different environment that we've been in, and so many different aspects. And we're all just trying to figure it out. We're all just trying to fit in the world. And we're all trying to like be happy at the end of the day. Like the reason you're even listening to this or having this conversation sometimes is you're like, I don't want to be an ass to myself. I don't like how I feel when I'm down. I don't like when I feel negative. And what's crazy to me is like, I personally, and it's weird because I don't actually feel, if you ask me the definition of this, I wouldn't have an answer for you. Despite everything, I feel like I have a very good sense of self for myself. Like, I feel really confident in who I am as a person, but if you ask me to define it, it's like my brain is blank. You know, like my brain, it's like when someone asks me a question on a test, like test anxiety, I'm like, I don't fucking know. But like, I have always felt very confident of like, this is what I want out of life. This is who I want to be. This is how I'm going to act. This is like all the things that we like talk about of like searching for your higher self. Like I've always deep down had that and I didn't realize what it was. And I think things like that are what have carried me through these situations. Like I've had plenty of people on my last job, any new hire that started, there was this one stupid ass bitch. She's fucking older than me. She's this old lady. She's not old. She's not old lady. She's probably like, she's low key, probably like only 5 years older than me. But she was so intimidated, so intimidated by me, you know, like intimidated by my success, intimidated by how I carried myself. And anytime a new person started, she would tell them, oh yeah, you're gonna think that Shelby's a bitch and that she hates you. She's not a bitch. Don't worry about it. And it got back to me. One of her best friends told me, and she was an attorney, so she's like someone that people look up to. If an attorney tells you something, they're like, "Oh shit, watch out for this girl." I'm also the person that controls the office, so if I know someone's going on saying that, I'm like, "Excuse me, ma'am, in your 40s, please stop." But
That's so mean.
her friend had come and said it to me, and she's like, I really feel bad telling you this, blah, blah, blah. And she tells me, and I was like, she's like, I'm so sorry to tell you. And I was like, my feelings aren't hurt. Like, I don't feel any ounce of sadness. I don't feel like I'm a bitch. For a second, I thought, do I need to be nicer? And then I thought, I'm not a fucking bitch. This girl is just intimidated by me, and she's making herself look like she's the kind person helping somebody, so people don't want to connect with me, that they're scared of me, that they stay away from me. And like I think those inner self-confidence things that I've always known, like true to who I am, have really helped carry me. I don't know why I'm holding this duck. Have you noticed that I'm holding a
Yeah.
duck?
I was like, do Same thing, girl. Like sometimes I'll have a pen in my hand if like I get nervous about what I'm talking about. So
I always hold these things on my desk. I need to move them. Anyways, that's Dieter the duck. But what is insane to me is like and then I confronted her, like I didn't have any ounce of uncomfortableness of going up to her and being like, hey, I heard that you're telling people this. A, I want you to know that I'm not a bitch. It's bitchy of you to say this. And B, please stop. And she was like, who told you this? Like, oh my gosh, like, like the typical things. And
Mhm.
in those moments, I was just like, you are so insecure. And I don't know exactly where it comes from. What I do know is like, I know myself. I know who I am. I know who I'm trying to be. And I know my intentions. And so when people say something that's extremely out of context, I don't even doubt myself. I don't have any ounce of reason to doubt myself. And I think that's what's helped me not be such an asshole to myself. One of the reasons I was going to Judy, the witch, is about my Bell's palsy. And when she was talking to me about it, I was like, I don't even know if you can fix it, but I want to like get comfortable and like love myself more because similar to your leg, I I feel like I was like putting negative energy towards it, but when she asked me like a similar question, like, what things do you say? And I was like,
Mhm.
honestly, I don't say shit. I was like, I just avoid things. I don't really look at myself very often. I look through myself because it's easier for me to just ignore that it's happening because I don't have like this inner dialogue that's like super, super negative. But I was like, I do avoid taking pictures. I don't have family pictures. I didn't get any more children. I didn't want any, but also like I know Bell's palsy was a big factor. And I was like, so it's just like this weight where I know that it's not a weight of confidence and love, which is like what I try to have. And I was like, and I want to just adjust my like mood around that because I don't actually say a lot of negative things. If I see a picture and someone sends it to me or I like look at something, I'm like, God, what the fuck is wrong with my face? Those are the like very few times, but regular times, I don't say anything about it, which is good, but also bad because I'm pretending it's not there.
Mhm.
So I think my dialogue is just different. Like I disassociate or I don't know, like not surround myself in a situation or make something happen where I like highlight that it's there. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely internalize a lot of things and it's hard and it's exhausting because it's become such a habit for me. It's a very, very hard habit to break. Like I'm getting a lot better than I was for sure. But middle school me and high school me, I want to just go back in time and be like, just take a breath. Like, you don't need people to love you. You don't need people to want to be around you. Like, you don't need the whole world to like you. Like, it's okay if people don't like you. Like, I feel so sad, especially middle school me. I feel so sad for that girl. Like, you were so miserable and trying so hard to have everybody love you. And it's like, for what? Like, I don't know. It's just, it's a very, very hard thing. It really is.
Um, One of the things I wanted to like make sure I like outline for you guys because I feel like we usually give some kind of definition or like reasoning of our topic. I wanted to outline why I think it matters about the way you speak to yourself. So I have a list. First, why does it matter how you speak to yourself? Whether it's positive or negative, the words that you're saying impact your confidence, your motivation, and your entire outlook on life. And like, I think that's one of the most significant things to like focus on is like, if you're saying, like, I have a sister and she calls herself a trash can all the time. She'll be like, do you need a trash can? Hire
Here I
me.
am. Yeah.
Like, I'm the trash can. And I'm always like, literally stop saying that. Like, because now she believes and thinks that she's a trash can. And although maybe deep down she's like, I know I'm not physically a trash can, that's her words saying I'm a trash can. And then every ounce of her, like if she wanted to do X in life, she's giving trash can energy. Like it's literally that point blank simple. So that's the first thing. It impacts your confidence, your motivation, and your outlook on life. Second, it impacts how you respond to stressors or events in your life. That one I think is super critical too. Like if you have a negative self-talk or a negative way that you're talking to yourself, if something stressful happens, you're immediately on, like Taylor was saying earlier, something about, God, I wish I remembered exactly how you said it. You said like something about, oh, when you have your anxiety, like anxiety, how you're like, oh, is Shelby mad at me? Is Wally mad at me? Like that's her speaking to herself as if she's done something wrong. That's her
Mhm.
speaking to herself as if she's not worthy of even our friendship. You know, like those, the way that she's responding to that stress that she was feeling is putting her now in a negative headspace, putting her now in a space where she's like, I don't even feel comfortable talking to anyone or seeing anybody. Like that's how she's responding. And it's because of those like negative conversations. So also on the flip side, if something amazing happens, but you don't feel like you're deserving of it, you're probably going to push that away and you're not going to show up as your best self because in that moment, that life moment, you decided, I still don't feel like I'm worthy of this. And now you're giving unworthy energy in what it is, or you're not talking about it, you're not celebrating it. And like that's a whole fucking therapy session alone. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry. It's time for me to go to bed. But like that's a whole like conversation alone of like you choosing to ignore something amazing happening in your life because you feel like you're not deserving. Like how you think about these things is completely dictating your next steps and like the next chapter that you're stepping into. The third thing is how you speak to yourself affects your mental state and your thoughts. And like that to me is one of the saddest parts, to be honest. Like I know if people are saying, I look so fat, or what's another one I feel like a lot of people say? I don't know. I'm really bad at this because I don't have these conversations. I
I
hate
think that
my
is the
butt.
biggest one. Yeah. I think image wise is the biggest one that people beat themselves up for.
Or you could also think about like social media where you see a bunch of people and the life that they live, and you're like, God, my life fucking sucks. My husband sucks. My kids suck. My house sucks. My house is trash. My car is trash. Like all of these things, silver tequila is trash. Like all of those things affect your mental state. If you're sitting there saying that, you're going to be so fucking grumpy. You're not happy. It's
Mhm.
literally making you a negative Nancy. And then you carry that same energy and that same feeling and that same mood into your conversations with your friends, with your family. That's when you get on the phone and you talk a bunch of shit. And then you're like, I didn't actually want to share that information about someone. Why did I say so many mean things? Or you're one of those people that gets on Facebook and says a bunch of mean things to people because you're feeling shitty about yourself. Like your comparison in your conversation literally changes exactly what's happening in your brain. Like, I'm sure there's science or research around this. I don't have those stats, but guarantee it. And then the last one I'd say is why it matters is it leads to positive or negative changes in how you feel, behave, and act, and what things come into your life. And like, I know I had an episode where I was talking about how I was feeling really stressed about money. Like around Thanksgiving, Christmas, I always go through this like spiral where I'm like, oh, money, blah, blah, blah. Like, which is, I'm really working on like having a positive outlook on money, which I think I've gotten pretty good at. But like literally 2 days later, my bank account got hacked and my whole entire all of my money was gone.
Oh my God, I
Like
forgot about that.
all of these things, like I know that people really don't want to believe that like the things you're saying bring certain things into your life. And even if you're not speaking them out loud, Taylor's leg not healing is probably a huge part of like her fucking frustration and negativity around it because negativity inhibits an environment for more negativity and more bad stuff. If you speak it internally or out loud, it literally is out into the existence. And we're going to have an episode about the power of the universe, which will really break that down more. But like, this is a huge part of it. Like the way you're speaking to yourself is what's going to happen. You want to lose weight, but you're sitting there calling yourself fat, you're going to fucking eat potato chips. You're going to
Yeah.
not lose weight because you're feeling like shit because you called yourself fat. Like, I don't know what else to say about it.
I think like it all starts with you. I think all of it starts with the way that you talk to yourself. And I firmly believe this. I feel like your body keeps a score. If you are waking up in the morning, brushing your teeth, and the first thing you say is, oh, I look haggard this morning. Like, look at how gross I look. My skin looks dull. Your whole day is going to be shit. Every single thing that you do, because you started the first thing that you did in the morning, you started it with negativity. So, why wouldn't more negativity come into your day? Like, you're going to hit traffic. You're going to do this. You're going to like anything is going to be negative. So I really think it starts with the second you wake up and how you talk to yourself, because you are the closest person to you and you're the first person that you see in the morning. And if you just open up negativity, your vibration is automatically going to be low from the second you open your eyes. And that's been really hard for me because I sleep like a bat out of hell and I do wake up in the morning looking like a psycho. And that's been really hard for me to like wake up in the morning and not say something negative to myself. The Rachel Hollis thing that I know I've brought up before on this podcast multiple times, finding one thing that you like about yourself and building upon that has really been the foundation of all the change for me. For me, it's my eyes. I think I have very pretty eyes. They're very blue or they're green, depending on what I'm wearing. So that's always when I'm in a low vibe, self esteem place. That's what I focus on. Like, hey, we're going to do my makeup differently today, and it's going to really accentuate my eyes. Like that silly meditation practice that Rachel Hollis taught me has really been the foundation of all of this for me. And just starting your morning with saying something nice to yourself, because that brings in the positivity and it will find you a lot easier.
I specifically remember it was when I was at my last job, which was toxic as fuck. And it was like towards the end of the days where I was like, I cannot fucking show up here every day. Like, I have so much anxiety. Like, what is going on? And every day was just like day after day, like negative, 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 because my headspace was negative and the conversations and the things, like everyone at the office was speaking negative. I was the person they come and talk to because that's my job. But also, I'm having those feelings myself. And one of the things that like I remember was like a huge shift for me, which I had needed at the time when I was like trying to find a new job, couldn't find a new job. And I remember just being like, fuck it. I'm having a good day today, and I'm telling myself I'm having a good day today. This coffee's amazing. I'm gonna have great coffee when I get there. It's gonna be an amazing drive. I'm gonna take a different route on my way. I'm gonna wear a nice outfit that makes me feel happy. And I literally had to do that like a couple days in a row. The coffee maker ended up spilling, and I could have immediately gone back into that like fuck me, fuck my life mentality. And I was just like, that's shitty. But now I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna clean it, and like that's fine because this counter needs to be cleaned anyways. Like I shifted my perspective and it gave me the space I needed to get into a better headspace, which then ultimately led me to getting a new job because my mental state was so different. Like it literally changed the steps I was taking into finding a new job. You said something and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it made me want to say like I think it's important for people because I know that this happens a lot. If you have a spouse or a partner that is speaking negatively to you and making you have this inner dialogue, like that is a huge critical red flag. Like, I don't give a fuck if you're married. I don't care if you have kids. You need to call this person out and you need to step into like your own confidence, or you need to get into therapy so you can start getting the confidence you need to address this situation and feel confident in having that conversation. Because if you live in a house where someone every single day is making you feel like trash, it's your life will literally always be trash. Like you will feel the saddest of sads. And I don't want that for you. So I don't remember what it was that you said that made me think that. But then the other thing you said, I had something I wanted to say. You are the most influential person in your life. And I think people forget that you as an individual are the person that controls your life. Your boss doesn't control your life. Your bank account doesn't control your life. Like every single thing around you is secondary. You are the only person that actually controls how you respond to things, how you think, how you feel, all of those things. It is up to you to decide if that hurt your feelings or not. It's up to you to decide if you want a different life. And the conversation you have with yourself is directly tied to you. So, like, sure, someone can say something and you can start to be like, all right, well, now I just fuck you. I don't want to be around you. Or you can let it beat you down and make you feel sad. Like you have that choice. And I think we sometimes forget that like we're the most influential person in our own lives.
I totally agree with that.
But I do want to play devil's advocate really quickly as my last statement. Sometimes you need to be a bitch to yourself, but you can be a kind bitch. There's so many times where I need to kick my own ass and like be like, okay, we've been negative for too many days or too many hours, or there's been 5 thoughts in a row where you've just been like a bit of a crybaby. Let's change your mood. And I was it the episode last week that we talked about the change, new mood, new me clapping thing? It's been
Yeah,
recent.
yeah, yeah.
It's one of those moments where it's like you sometimes need to be an asshole to yourself to get yourself back to your higher vibrational place where you're like not thinking this way, but you can do it kindly. And
Hmm.
I've had to learn to do it kindly because normally I just be like, stop being a little fucking bitch and get it together. And that was a bit too aggressive for myself. It worked, but now I'm more of like, hey bitch, we don't need to be sad anymore. Let's move on. So I've changed it a little bit, but I still call myself a bitch because it's a term of endearment for me. If a man says it, absolutely not. But I think it's important that you know, like, sometimes you need to say, like, girl, enough is enough. Stop being a crybaby and like get your ass on the horse and go.
Hmm.
So that's all I have, really.
Yeah, I think that that's all I have too. This is definitely something that I'm actively working on. And I probably will continue to actively work on it for a good majority of my life. So I'll share tips and tricks as I get them. But for right now, we're just focusing on loving ourselves where we are at. And like, shit's not that deep that you're upset about if, in regards to looks or in regards to how I don't know. Like, for example, today we did like in my yoga class, we did like a little balance section, and people like were falling out because we were tired. It was so hot. It was towards the end, like, and people were like falling out of the poses. And I could tell a few people were getting like frustrated. And I was like, okay, everybody stop, take a breath, like all take a collective breath. And then as we let it go, I was like, it's not that deep. Like, we're just playing around. If you fall out of the pose, it doesn't fucking matter. And everybody instantly was like, okay, like, let's try the other side. Like, let's do this. Like, you could visibly see the shift because shit's just not that deep sometimes. And you just have to sometimes remind yourself, like, does it matter if I fall out of tree pose? No, like, let's laugh it off and let's try the other side. And if I can't get it tonight, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it's not that deep. So I think that that's also something that I've been bringing in of like, if I'm like, oh, I look fat today, like, shit's not that deep. It doesn't matter who am I trying to impress. I'm very happily married. Tony loves me no matter what. Like, it's not that deep, you know? So,
I mean, I think it would be really helpful probably if you shared a little bit more. Like, well, maybe when we take our break, we can figure out maybe a little bit more of how we can support. Because I think that's one of the hard things with having a podcast and regular lives and not having like a marketing person or a
mhm,
producer. Like, we don't share a lot of things that we could be sharing. We try and share them on our story when other people produce them, but I know I am not the normal when it comes to this conversation. I'm like the 1%, you know, like it is more common that people are struggling the way that you do, and you will struggle with this your entire life. You'll just get better at handling it. And
mhm,
figuring out ways to handle it and sharing that with people is like really what I want our podcast to do. And sometimes as rambling on here, I don't know if it actually hits, but I think that that's one of the things that I would really love for us to identify for you guys. If you guys have suggestions on what you would like to see or what would help you after we have a conversation like this, like that would be super helpful. Don't be shy to reach into our DMs. Like we
mhm.
are on social media all the time. I have no problem having a conversation with you guys. But I think the other thing that I would like really just want to end on is it's okay that you wake up one day and you're like, these fucking wrinkles under my eyes, like I look so tired. It's okay to say that, but then say, how can I get some rest? And like today, do I have space where I can come take a nap? Do I have eye patches? Eye patches are life changing. Like it's okay to say it and then also be like, oh, maybe my body needs something more from me. Maybe I need to take a break. Maybe I need to take a collective breath so I can regain myself. I told Henley today at tumbling, like shake it off. If you're feeling frustrated, just do a little shake it off dance and like regather yourself. Like it's okay to acknowledge something that looks or feels negative. There's days where I'm like, God, I'm sitting on my bike and I'm wearing a sports bra and tight shorts. And I'm like, these fucking shorts really don't highlight my body in a great way. You can see it in the screen, and then I'll be like, yeah, but I'm also about to get my period, and I did consciously choose to eat flaming hot sour cream and cheddar chips last night. So
Oh, what a
my
nightmare. That
oh
sounds
my God, they're
awful.
so amazing. They have a hold on me. But
Oh,
like I like it's okay for me to acknowledge that and then be like, and also you're retaining salt and sodium and all this shitty stuff that you're doing, or also you're about to get your period and today is just that day. And to not let it like continue, like it's okay to acknowledge it, just don't keep the conversation going and try and flip it, toxic positivity a little bit of like, what can I do to help this situation? Do I need to drink more water? Can I eat a salad today? Like, do your best, and I think it will really help you navigate this a little bit better if you acknowledge it. It's okay. Like I said, it's okay to say it. You're not going to be perfect. Try not to say it, but if you do, don't be like, "Ah, fuck, bitch. Like, you're not supposed to talk to yourself this way." Be like, okay, and I'm going to do X to make it better.
mhm.
Something.
Yeah.
And that's
Mindfulness.
it.
That's what life boils down to is mindfulness.
Life boils down to a whole lot, but mindfulness is what is those things, those boils that people have in the South, those pots with all the things inside it, the crab boils or something.
Jambalaya?
No, they do like a whole spread where it's like a party and they like put all this stuff in a
Oh,
pot and then they
like
dump it
a
out on the
crawfish
table.
boil thing.
Yeah, it's mindfulness is in the pot.
I, for some reason, thought you were talking about like boils like on the skin, and I was like, "What are you talking
You're
about?"
like, listen, Linda, you've had too much Chardonnay. Um, okay, I have a asking for a friend, but I do want to say that there was an article about on Psychology Today that I was about to click into about this, but I was like, nope, Taylor always comes in with Psychology Today, and you fucking didn't. So there's an article. Taylor will look into it. She'll share the research later. There's
I will.
research.
I do love psychology today for
I
sure.
know. I was like making my notes and I was like, oh, don't touch this page. She always goes there. Okay, hashtag asking for a friend. Is it gross to let dogs or pets sleep on or in your bed?
No, I don't think it's gross. My dog had a permanent space on my bed, and I know that some people, hiccup, will probably not agree with me, but I think your pets are your family and they should have a spot on your bed if they want them.
I don't know if you've seen this online, but this has like been a topic I've seen a couple people talk about. I sound Canadian when I say about. It's really starting to irritate me. Anyways, I until I was really thinking about this, I was on your side of like, yeah, it's fine. And then the Enneagram 1 in me popped in and was like, holy shit, they're actually so dirty. And like, I've always known it because I get really irritated. My one dog always sleeps in the same spot and it always ruins the space. I don't like when they sleep on top of my cushions during the day and my on my couch because then it like ruins my things. And then like sometimes my couch pillows will smell. Random things like that have happened. But again, I was on the side of like, it's our pet. Like they should get to sleep on the bed. And then as I thought about this, I'm actually pretty fucking grossed out. Think about all of the stuff in their fur on them that they are just bringing onto your bed. Some people let their dogs, my dogs don't do this because maybe it's too hot or something. They don't sleep inside the covers.
No, my dog doesn't either.
Some people's dogs sleep on their pillows, on their faces, by their heads, on their necks. And like, I'm sorry,
Claustrophobic.
I don't care how clean, like they actually are bringing a lot of dirt and their fur actually holds a lot. Like my dogs are hypoallergenic, but they're still fucking dirty.
I'm trying to think of what podcast I was listening to. I think it might have been AG University, but maybe not. There was some podcast I was listening to about how it's good to have pets that bring stuff from outside inside. It like helps your immune system. Maybe it was Gracie Norton's. It was some podcast that like the soil that they bring in and stuff to your house, it helps keep your immune system higher and helps get you like more comfortable with like bacteria so you don't get sick as often.
Yeah, because they're fucking dirty.
Yeah, but I mean, if it helps my body, all right. I would never, ever, ever tell Gypsy that she couldn't have slept on our bed ever.
I won't lie. I would prefer if my dogs didn't sleep on my bed. And that's not because of the dirty aspect. Now it a little bit is. If we ever have a new dog, I would really like for it to not sleep in our bed. Will it happen? Probably not. They'll probably always sleep in our bed. But it was mostly because I hate when they're like laying by your feet and you can't move. When I feel trapped in a bed, it really irritates me. So if they're sleeping on top toward your feet, because like we're fucking long people and I can't move my feet, I will literally launch these fuckers off my bed. I don't care if they're dead asleep. I don't care what happens to them. I will kick as hard as I can.
Oh my
I don't
God.
kick them. I kick the sheets so it launches them because
Oh my God,
I really,
stop.
really don't like when my dogs are on my bed when I'm sleeping.
Is
So
this why you've been walking Ryder out of your room at the nights I sleep over?
I would really like it if he didn't sleep in my bed. No, why I do that now is he snores like a mofo because he's gotten so old and I can't sleep because he's snoring so loud.
Oh, the last time I slept over, he was locked in Jaden's room, and I was like, "What the fuck is that noise?" Because he kept like hitting the door, and I was so freaked out. It was when Henley was sleeping on the couch too, because she was scared, and I was like, "She's about to wake up and ask me what this noise is, and I'm gonna be just as afraid of her and be like, let's go wake up your mom and dad. Like, I don't know what's happening." And then I realized it was Ryder locked in Jaden's room, so I had to like
Oh
go
my.
open the door, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I hope Jaden's not in here. Like, this is so stressful."
No, he actually hides in people's bedrooms. Like he loves Jaden's room. If Jaden's door is, he used to just wait outside of his door and I'd have to let him in. But now that Jaden works early, he doesn't do that anymore. He loves being in Jaden's room. And if Jaden's door is open, he'll find a way in there and he will just stay there for hours and hours. Like he's been in there for like an entire day before because he just wants to be in there. And then finally he hears someone and he's like, wait, I want to go see them. So I'm not intentionally locking him out. I'm assuming he's like hanging out with someone else. And so if he's not in there, I'm like, great, works for me. And I close the door. But I don't like lock him in Jaden's room.
Hmm. Yeah, well, let us know what your guys' thoughts are about this because I feel like this could definitely be a controversial topic.
I mean, I think there's probably germaphobes that are like me that are kind of like, oh shit, I hadn't really thought about that. Like I said, my dogs will still always sleep in my bed. Do I prefer it at this point? No. Am I grossed out? Yes. But I agree, your dog is your family and like I don't know. It's cozy. It makes me happy that they feel that way. But if you're not a dog person and you're a germaphobe, they for sure are like, you guys are disgusting. Maybe we are, but we're not getting sick as
Yeah,
much as you. So
exactly. We're having the good bacteria.
we may have to wash our sheets way more than we wanted to, but
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening, you guys. Make sure that you follow, rate, review, share with a friend, follow us on Instagram, all of those good things. Thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you next week and then we'll be on our break. Bye.
bye.